There is something that happens to you when you are debt-free and you have your house paid for and you have very little bills. Like, I just want, there's something that clicks. Once your mind kind of blossoms into new streams of income, freedom, because money is freedom, okay? It's freedom to not have to go to work. It's to go surfing if you want to. It's to buy another rental property. It's to go on a vacation if you want to, because you owe no money to anybody. What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great day. It is a rainy day here in good old Navy Point, and I wanted to take a minute and talk to you kind of my path in life. See, I just got off the phone with one of the biggest YouTubers on YouTube, and we were kind of talking about what made us successful in our journey, both to financial freedom and to YouTube and really life in general. And I wanted to kind of share my path to maybe it can help your path, and kind of some of the ideas that changed my life and allowed me to do this for a living and some of the things I'm able to do. So in this video, I want to talk about my debt-free journey and really the truth about it, like what you need to know about being debt-free. Is it worth it? A mortgage versus not a mortgage, and just my opinions on it all. Because my big thing with this video, and the main reason why I want to make it today, is I feel like we really need to bring down the doors of like being insecure about talking about money, because if you don't talk about it, you don't get better at it, and it's hard to be successful at something that you don't want to talk about. And you should never be afraid to talk about it, because if you surround yourself with the right people that are trying to motivate you and inspire you, then you won't have to worry about people condemning you for talking about it. Because my dad condemned me a lot about talking about money. And that's why I never had any of the educational tools to know what to do as a young man. I want this to help you, because I'm putting all my knowledge out there for you right now. See, being debt-free will allow you to take risks in life. Being an entrepreneur, going into things that are truly your passion, things you want to do, and the things the universe wants you to do. That is what debt-free will do for you. And that's why I'm so passionate about telling people about it. It's literally living with peace of mind. Peace of mind and security. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jack. I have this world of Yak Motley. I am a real estate investor, a realtor. I am a YouTuber and a business owner, and I've kind of done a lot of different things. And if you followed me over the years, you've seen me buy real estate, sell real estate, flip real estate, and just about everything with money and YouTube, right? Like those are the things that I try to put forth to people, because there's a lot of bad information out there, and I just want to just kind of put my information out there to kind of water down that bad information. And these are just my opinion. See, that's just basically the who I am and why you should care. And so here's how it all started. Really, when I was in college, I didn't have any money, and I had a strong arm, and I paid my way through college on a scholarship for throwing a baseball. And I didn't accumulate any college debt, because when I wanted to get my master's degree, I said, you know what? I got a strong back. I'm going to go in the United States Army, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to stay out of debt as much as possible. So I joined the United States Army. It was the only place in 2008 that would actually hire you, and you could get a good, decent job. And when I got there, I knew that I really didn't have to have many expenses from there on out. So I tried to save basically between 80 and 90% of my income at all times. I was able to have roommates through those years. I was there for almost 6 years, and I was able to save, and never accumulate debt. I knew I needed 3 things in life at that point. I needed a car, I needed to save for a house, and I needed to take care of my basic necessities. Well, as a single person traveling, I was able to rent, have roommates, basically save all my money towards those things. I had an old beat-up truck that my dad gave me when I was like 16 years old, drove it across country 3 times. It was a 1981 model. Okay, I owed 0 on it, but it started to break down on me, and in the Army I was traveling to schools and stuff, so I needed to have a good vehicle. So when I deployed to Iraq, I saved all my money, literally every dime. I wouldn't even buy those those bootleg CDs over there to watch like movies so I could save every dime to where I had a truck when I came back. And as soon as I came back, I did what every soldier does, to buy a car, but I paid for it with cash. And then for the next like 4 years, I saved like, again, 90% of my income for those 4 years. And I had pretty much what I thought was enough money to buy any house that I wanted, okay? I had about $130,000 saved up, and that was in a savings account for me to buy a house when I got out of the Army. So every dime thereafter, I literally poured into investments. And it allowed me to expand my little hoard of cash by leaps and bounds. I studied every financial book I could. I learned how to trade stocks in my off time, and while I was at work, I was literally side hustling, trading stocks. And when I got out, I was in the position to buy rental real estate. And at this point, I had never had any type of payments ever. I had never gone into debt. And I knew, because I followed Dave Ramsey to the T in the old days, that I had to go through all these baby steps, but I was able to do them by leaps and bounds and faster because I wasn't spending any money. And a lot of people tell me, well, most people can't do what you did, but I'm just telling you my story because that's how I was able to save so much money so fast. So when we go to the field and all that stuff like that, that money, I had no expenses. I had a flip phone and it just went straight to my savings account, okay? And so I owned 3 houses before I ever slept in one of my houses. Like literally when I came back from the Army, I crashed in my parents' like side room. And you can actually see it on this YouTube channel. That's the cool thing about YouTube. You can go back and see what I did. Go back to my old videos. I had the little yak shack out there. I crashed in my parents' house where I was paying them like $300 a month in rent for all my stuff, food and everything. And then I was buying rental real estate and properties I was never even sleeping in. I was living in a little side room and I owned 3 houses, you know? And I was like able to catapult it all by doing that. So then when me and Samantha started dating, I was staying at her house, renting out the other houses until we decided to move here in Navy Point, move into one of my houses. And then I bought another house and had 3, so I had a total of 3 rental houses, and then our house we live here in Navy Point. And so when I got those 3 houses chugging, I immediately used that money to pay off the one note that I had, which was a small note on this Navy Point house, because I really just wanted to go through the loan process to see the difference, to know mortgage versus paid off. And so when I paid that house off, this house I live in now, there is something that happens to you when you are debt-free and you have your house paid for and you have very little bills. Like I just want, there's something that clicks, and I want this to just sink into everybody that is counting 2 points of interest or 3 points of interest versus investing and paying off your house. Let me tell you something. This is my experience, and this is the YouTuber's experience. I don't want to tell his story. I want him to tell his story, because I told him he needs to go on the channel and tell his story because it's truly inspirational. He was actually watching me back in the day, and he started his channel, and his life has changed. So there is something that happens when you pay off your house. And let me tell you what happens. What happens is that you free up your mental capacity. Your peace of mind happens. You're able to take risks you would have not normally taken. You're able to go down like entrepreneurial endeavors knowing that your house is paid for, your family is taken care of, you have a place to crash tonight. And after COVID and everything that happened, so now you've got to know that job security is a myth. It is a true myth, and I found that out in the Army when they were getting rid of us. If you were a captain or a major from a certain year group and the administration changed, you were gone. You were gone. Same way with COVID, furloughs and businesses closing down and being forced to shut down showed you, and I want everybody to remember this, and I'm documenting it on this video, that we should have learned our lesson about playing chicken with mortgages and things like that and rent. That you might not have a place to lay your head down if you do not own your properties outright. if you own these properties, and trust me, I have owned quite a bit of real estate, over $500,000 free and clear of real estate, okay? And I know that if you have a bunch of properties with debt notes on them and the government told you and showed you they will allow them to not pay you, are you going to survive that? If they're paid for, it is a lot easier. Let me tell you, it is a lot easier. You still have expenses like taxes and insurance and things like that, and light bills and maintenance, okay? You still have expenses on those properties, but when you own it outright and they're not going to come take it from you, your peace of mind changes and you're able to focus on making more money and making more fruitful decisions than worry about what's behind you and coming up with what you owe, if that makes any sense. See, the main thing you're going to have to ask yourself in this whole debt-free thing is a little equation that I like to talk about. It's where peace of mind and a return meet, okay? Peace of mind and a return. Which is more important to you, peace of mind or the risk involved in getting a bigger return? And in unstable markets, sometimes chasing that large return doesn't always equal getting a return. Sometimes there is no return. And for me, I've tried to mitigate a lot of risks and have a slower approach to things and have my peace of mind. And that has actually allowed me to have a bigger return because I focused more on growing my income and things like YouTube and other ideas, and then personal growth by investing back in myself, self-learning, reading, following great mentors, having time to go and sit down with great mentors and just milk their mind for every knowledge they could give to me, which allowed me to grow faster. And it's a snowball effect because my time was all of a sudden freed up to build myself on the plus side instead of worrying about all the things that I had to do to pay other people. And at the end of the night, I knew I had a place to stay no matter what. So that being said, and I hope that kind of comes over to you, that I don't care what these financial advisors tell you, especially the ones that have less money than you. Not all financial advisors have money. Let me just say that. And I've talked to a lot of them. That 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 points, let's say 3% interest rate, 4% interest rate, and they say, well, if you put 2% in the market, you'll make 2%. So why let me tell you, focus on making more money, and that's what I'm talking about now, than trying to squeeze out 2% or 1%. You're never going to see that money because you're going to be paying the interest on that money. Like, holding the money is going to cost you money, okay? And that peace of mind and what it is, how it is hampering your growth financially is huge. And I hope this makes sense, okay? That once your mind kind of blossoms into new streams of income, freedom, because money is freedom, okay? It's freedom to not have to go to work. It's to go surfing if you want to. It's to buy another rental property. It's to go on a vacation if you want to, because you owe no money to anybody, okay? So what I did was I was able to buy properties. I was able to make my YouTube channel bigger. I was able to get a real estate license and now take that thing and couple it with my YouTube channel and to have 2 more sources of income, plus my rental properties, plus other small syndicated business ideas and ventures, okay? So my sources of income expanded into 4, 5, 6 different sources of income inside 2 years, and my net worth almost tripled in the last 3 years by being debt free. Okay, and I've really been debt free about 4 years because of that one note that I had on that property. And then after factoring in on that property how much I was losing with interest, how much I was paying on that debt note, the peace of mind, constantly knowing that I had to pay that monthly mortgage even when my tenant skipped the last month, and I had maintenance and had a lot of things that I had done. Most of that money they're paying is interest, okay? And I know there's going to be somebody in the comment section with a long-handed sharp pencil trying to tell me I'm wrong. But what I'm telling you is your net worth will grow by leaps and bounds if you are debt-free and you have that peace of mind. Your marriage will be more successful. Your friendships will be more successful with people. You won't have the stress, and you can take that money that now is extra and use it for investing. Like I'm just telling you from experience, your life will change. Because in conclusion, I came from nothing, okay? I had very little money starting out. I stayed out of debt. I made sharp, smart investments. I read as much as I possibly could. And the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I saved, my entire net worth, I put into the market. And then I was able to buy a house that I could put equity into, sweat equity. I bought it as cheap as I can, and I knew it would be worth as much as it could. And I paid it off. And now I'm stress-free, I'm debt-free. My net worth has gone from a couple $100,000 to almost $1 million mark. And it was literally by following this formula. Now, I don't know if you went the other way, what your net worth would be, but I know that this path works, and it has taken the last, 15 years from my 20s to now I'm 36-ish years old, that this works. And if I wouldn't have followed these steps, I would probably still be sitting on the same bar stool when I was 21 years old, today with a lot less money. And, finding a good network of people that motivate and inspire you and not afraid to talk about money because it's right up there with air, as far as importance, that they can help you and help your financial literacy. And if the people around you are browbeating you for wanting to be financially secure, then you need to move them out of your way. You need to surround yourself with people, because your net worth is the core 5 people around you at all times. There's a crazy law of vibration that goes on there, and people that are not wanting to be successful will drag you down. So just keep that in mind. Be strong and try to move forward on your adventure. And I hope this helps one person, because I'm really trying to bring down the doors of people being insecure about talking about money. Because if you want to be successful with anything, you got to talk about it. And I hope this video helps. Email me, comment down below if you've got any questions, and I'll do my best to answer. I usually try to stick around for a little bit when I post a video. And I'll see you guys later. Who knows what the next video will be about. See ya.